Ironwood Games. This is Andrew. Welcome to our sealed cons of Tarkir. Welcome everyone. I've been wanting to do a sealed cons for a while. Well, since they, released it here on Arena. I really liked cons. I don't know if I'm good at it. I don't remember much. So we're gonna jump in. We're gonna do a sealed. I might do a quick draft video later. I want to do sealed just because I'm not intimately familiar with it. I wanted to kind of refresh, and I think it gives me a chance to look at sealed. You get the pool, and so it gives you a chance to kind of look at some of the things and refresh what all you've got, rather than draft, just kind of seeing a little bit and going. So I do know that I'm really partial to Abzan. The Outlast mechanic I really liked. I felt like it had a lot of synergy. And so it's something I'm more likely to force in draft. If I have support for it, I could see myself forcing it in sealed. Not that that's even a good strategy, it's just one of the ones I feel comfortable with. Jeskai was, I believe, prowess. I think it was the introduction of prowess. Lots of tricks, lots of things. Not something I'm always comfortable with. But we know how it goes. Let's see. Sultai, I want to say it was Delve. But I think that's wrong. It might have been Exploit. But I know it had like some recursion and some graveyard things. Mardu had Rush, I believe is what it's called. Raid on that, where you could pay cheaper to get them in, play your creatures to attack, they return to hand. Sometimes get some ETB triggers or things, but get a lot of like haste damage in and things on that. And then Temur Behemoth. Temur was power 4 greater, I believe. Ferocious, so you got boosts for getting things that had a little bit of ramp in that. So I think, if I recall, I know Abzan was definitely like my favorite, where I felt the most comfortable. Mardu probably second. Then maybe Jeskai and Sultai together, and I think Temur was the one I felt probably least confident in. But if you have the right stuff, it's easy, because it's kind of the ramp, the green ramp, where I'm comfortable in, of just get some big things. I don't know if they had morph in cons, or if it was introduced in the later sets in Fate Reforged, because I think the morph was, so cons is the future in which the dragons have been eliminated, and I believe morph was tied to the dragon magic. So it came in Fate Reforged, and then Mega Morph was in Dragons of Tarkir's when we went to the alternate timeline. So yeah, I think it was mostly the 5 tribes and their mechanics. There wasn't a lot of other things, and they added the other stuff later. So, but let's jump in here. Let's see what our pool looks like, and then we'll start kind of working on a build. Only got gems for this, but that's fine. We have enough gems. What would we need to get our gems back? 6 wins to get back our gems. 3 or 4 wins is really, where we're aiming for always. Just, I'd like to be above 50. But it's possible. I don't know how many. It's been out a little bit, so even people that maybe weren't familiar with cons, the newer players have had a chance to play with it, and so it's probably a little bit more competitive. Right now, I probably should have done this earlier on in release, when you had more likely players. Newer players didn't have the experience with the set to maybe do as well, but oh well. Yeah, we're gonna jump in here. All right, let's open our 6 packs. Let's see what we get. And let's see if Utter End is decent. just as 4 mana, get rid of any problem. Siege Rhino's really good. It was really good in Constructed especially. But the 5/4 for 4 with the 6-point life swing was good. Ivory Tusk Fortress, put a plus on it during each. That's really good with Outlast. I really hate that I'm seeing things that will make Abzan, like 4 of these would go into an Abzan build really easily. Rattleclaw isn't even bad for Abzan. So they did have Morph in cons, because this has the Morph too. Okay, so remember, what is Wingmate Rock? It has Raid. If you attack this turn, each battlefield. So what am I thinking of? So Raid is if you attacked, and I'm thinking of, what have I got it confused with? That lets you play them in return. Maybe I am thinking of something different. Raid we saw reprinted in Ixalan with the pirates, I think. So you play it second main phase after you attacked. And then it creates the token when it comes in, and then whenever it attacks, you gain life for attacking creatures. I could see like playing all 6 of these rares in a deck if you go Abzan. This one's probably the weakest of them if we don't have space for it, but it does ramp. It only ramps the green, unfortunately, in the Abzan, where if you were playing Sultai, you could get the green-blue. Jeskai, you could get the blue-red, but then you're not playing green for it. So we'll see. I like these 3. So I am already leaning into an Abzan build just based on our rares, but we've got to see what support we've got, and what else we have here. So I'm just going to go through, and I'm not going to spend a ton of time on all these, but I'm going to pull out, I think, anything that seems, or that I recall being pretty good. Feat of Resistance is good in the Abzan build, but it's not good on its own. So again, Abzan Falconer, if you go Abzan, is really good. Kill Shot's fine. We're going to pull out Kill Shot because it works in whatever color. Remember, Outlast, you're tapping your creatures on sorcery speed at your main phase, so having things to kill the attacking creatures to defend yourself because you don't have blockers up can be really good. Warriors, I think, is the Mardu piece. Smite the Monstrous is just more removal in that same way. Wingmate Rock is just good in an Embodiment of Spring. If you are in blue-green, that's good. If not, it's not good. Again, we're just trying to put down anything that's good on its own and see what we have in each color and kind of what we're leaning towards. Stubborn Denial is fine. I don't think it's great if you're not playing Ferocious. Same thing with Disdainful Stroke. In Jeskai or Teamer, I think these are fine. So they updated this to actually be a Surveil. That's interesting. It doesn't change anything of it. It's 5. Surveil 5 is really good, though. I mean, I'm going to put that in just because I think Surveil 5 for 2 mana is just a really good card. I really do like this one. I don't think it's like amazing where you're just like, wow, I need that. Treasure Cruise, of course, is good. So if, because we want to look and see if we have like Jeskai stuff, we could do that. But let's keep going. okay. I don't know. We do have 2 of them. It's fine. It's not necessarily great on its own. Molting Snakeskin is fine. Debilitating Injury is fine. It's not really removal. But with Despite, like in Sultai, getting some of these things that you can go after your opponent's hand with 2 and 2, that's actually really good disruption. I don't know if we want it if we do Abzan. That one's fine. That one's fine for what we're doing. Throttle is basically a kill spell. Outside of maybe like a couple of ferocious creatures that have 5 toughness on that, the Rotting Mastodon, this is going to kill a lot of things for 5 mana. Sultai Scavenger is good, regardless of whether you're playing Sultai or not. It's built for Sultai, but 3/3 flying that you can potentially just pay black for is really, really good. Alright, Horde Ambusher. When it blocks, so it wants to attack. It's not great by itself. I don't remember if artifacts are a huge thing in this set. Valley Dasher is not great. This one is great if you're doing, again, Jeskai prowess stuff. Trumpet Blast is great in both Mardu and can be good in Jeskai. Yeah, that's straight up removal. That we're going to consider as removal. That's removal. It's a little expensive. That one's fine if you're in it. That one's just good by itself. Savage Punch is removal-ish. It's close enough. In it, or the challenge is good in what you're in. Incremental Growth is great in Abzan. I really want to put the Abzan build together and see what you get. Okay, Chief of the Edge. It's good in Warriors. Utter End is just good. Did we get Jungle Hollow helps with Abzan? Kintree Invocation is a good Abzan. Also works in Sultai. With both of the, we got some good things. Mardu Charm is good. Ponyback Brigade is not a bad card. Bear's Companion is okay. 6 mana for 5 is fine. Yeah, there was the banners. I don't think there's enough artifacts to be worth it. If we do play Abzan, I think the banner's usually pretty good. That one's fine. Efreet Weapon Master, I believe, is good. Lens of Clarity and the Heart. Target creature defending player controls. That one's okay on it. Alright, looking at kind of what we have just in what's really good on its own. I don't see anything specific. I think we might just have to kind of build a couple of the decks and see what they look like. Because we got Mardu, we've got Jeskai, we've got Abzan, we've got Temur. We don't really have any gold Sultai things. I don't think Sultai's gonna make the cut. But let's start there. Because I think that's the easiest way to do it. So, I don't really want those. We already have... Oh, we have 2 of those. Okay. Let's put anything that might make it in. We have 2 treasure cruises. We do have... two Sultai Scavengers, so we have those doubles in this. Chill is fine. I don't know that I would play the counters in Sultai. That's fine. All right, so that's 49. We'd have to cut Altar of the Brood. Might be, I don't know if we have enough like removal. Our blue seems pretty weak to me. I really don't like this in what we have. We've got decent black. And the green. I feel like the white's going to be a better pairing with it. Mystic is fine. We don't have... we don't have a lot of ways to, like, dump things into the graveyard to enable the early delves, the big delves. Like a 3/3 flyer to delve is fine. If this had delve, maybe we could do it again with this. The 2/8 is fine. We have some ways to return some things, but I don't love this. All right, let's get rid of our blue. Let's add in our white. Oh, I guess we could have put that one in. We did have technically that. Here we're just putting anything, not everything. Oh, I guess we had the Sultai Soothsayer, but enough to give us an idea. We only have the 1 Outlast creature, which does make the Abzan. That's its big mechanic, and if we don't have enough Outlast, it might not be worth it. Incremental growth goes in for that. This is 53. Yeah, it's like these are so good. You can get, so we have enough ways to get other counters on, like with incremental growth. Where was Abzan Falconer is the only one. Feat of Resistance. Only have the 2 ways to get counters. So Ivory Tusk Fortress is good, but not great. I really like Abzan, and I really want to be able to play these rares, but we just don't have... Like, we need more Abzan things to make that archetype work. We could look at Teamer. I really don't want to play Teamer, though. Alright, let's look at Mardu. So we'll throw in our red, because that might honestly be the better build. Because we have the charm. I mean, we could also play 4 colors to splash some of those. Because we have, like, the Bivouac would let us splash green. We could... Can we splash green off the banner? That's 2 splashes. That's too much of a splash. We could play Jungle Hollow, Blossoming Sands. So we get Scoured Barrens. We get Bloodfell Caves. We could splash green. Play like Mardu splash green, because we don't have the Abzan like payoffs. But like Mardu, I don't know that I want the Shatter. Valley Dasher is interesting. It definitely wants to attack. How many warriors do we have in this? That's Human Soldier. So that was the problem. Like, you make warrior tokens. Do we have enough warriors? That makes warrior tokens. That's just a bird. That's an elephant. That's a goblin warrior. Makes goblins. And then a bird warrior. So we have, I think, enough to make Chief of the Edge. For 2 mana, 3/2, it's fine. Like, the rock is going to be good. Ooh, okay, what do we have as far as creatures? Yeah, we only have 13 creatures, so we definitely would need to cut some non-creatures. We can't afford to cut creatures. That makes that better. That's a save. I don't know if that's worth it. Kill shot's fine. Trying to put it, discards 2 cards. Mill 2 cards. I think I might cut Secret. Discard is interesting, but I don't know if it's good in this one. Mardu Charm is fine. Bitter Revelation is good, but I don't know if it's great. And gets rid of things. We have a ton of removal in these other things, so we need to cut. Despise is fine, I just don't know if it's good. I would probably cut Debilitating Injury on that. Let's see, we need to cut 8 more, which is probably still 8 non-creatures. Take Up Arms is probably... gets cut. Creatures... Throttle is just good. Arrow Storm is good. Dutiful Return is fine with a low creature count. Smite the Monstrous is fine. Swift Kick is probably worse if we don't have creatures. Trumpet Blast. We're not really being aggressive and going wide, so we can cut that. Kill Shot helps us. That's protection. I think we cut a Despise and a Molting Snakeskin. We might cut both Molting Snakeskins. +2, and then pay to regenerate. Like, that is good, but it's not instant. Let's see what else we have that's not, if any of these are not instants that we need to get rid of. They aren't. We could cut the Abzan Falconer, but it does give us some flying. We have the Sultai, so we could get some things in the air. Let's cut that one. I'm tempted to cut this other Despise. We have enough ways to kill creatures. Yeah. Okay, we need to make one more cut. We could cut a Valley Dasher, since we're not trying to attack. That would be 40. It's not a bad curve. And it has, I think, the most synergy of what we've got. We don't get to play our other rares. Let's throw in the lands and see what... no, not Jungle Hollow. Bloodfell Caves, Scoured Barrens. And then... do we... have anything else we want? I could play Abzan Banner as fixing. Siege Rhino is really good. I don't know if we don't have enough counters. 5 mana for a 5/7 though is good. What would we take out? Like a tracker? Let's take out tracker for Siege Rhino. Put in Blossoming Sands and Jungle Hollow. Do we cut the forest? I would like to cut the forest. Or if we put an Opulent Palace in place of the forest. Is what it recommends on the lands, and I'm fine with that. We could also play Abzan Banner, but I don't know what we get rid of for that, and I don't know 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, unless we play it in place of a land. But I don't know what land we take out, because we don't have 5, 6, 7 white sources, 5, 6 red sources, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black sources, and then 3 green sources for the 1 Siege Rhino. So we would add a white, a black, and a green, but we can't afford cutting. So we could take out a Plains for it. I don't remember how fast this format is, really. And we do have a lot of removal and things in white, red. I think we want to run it like this. I think the Valley Dasher is our most problematic just because it does want to be aggressive. And we're really not there in aggression. The other option, again, we could play a Frontier Bivouac to splash the red, or to splash the green and the red, but I think 3 green sources for 1 is fine. I like this better. The Opulent Palace gives us 2 colors we need and a splash, and so I think that's fine. Let's go back and look. Erase enchantment. I don't think there's enough that we're worried about. We don't have enough warriors to make that worth it. It's also a sorcery, so it wants to be aggressive, and we don't want to play Take Up Arms. We cut the Despise, we cut those, we cut that, we cut those, and we cut that. So I think that's fine. Shatter, I don't think, again, there's enough artifacts that matter. We bring it in a side if we needed to. That's like a sideboard card. Trumpet Blast is okay, but it's again about being aggressive, and it really wants to Mardu raid stuff. Swift Kick is removal, but it's worse than some of the other removal we have, and the tracker is just so expensive. And then I don't think there's anything in the green else that's at the top that's worth splashing. Oh, because those are doubles in that. And that's a double splash. That's fun, but I think we've got other stuff at the top to do on that. So, well, I'm not 100% on this. And maybe the Fortress and some of the things we could run an Abzan, but if we had more Abzan Outlast creatures, oh, for sure. I would force it, maybe even with just one more. Like 2 or 3 definitely gets to the point where I then consider it, because like Ivory Tusk Fortress gets good, Incremental Growth gets really good, because these things apply to every creature with not just creatures Outlast, so you can get the counters on the non-Outlast creatures. The problem is with only one enabler, if you don't have this down, nothing else matters, where the Feat of Resistance is really, really good. And so if I had 3 ways to turn that stuff on, it might be worth it, because you Outlast yourself, you generally put the counters on your other stuff, but with just the one, I don't think we can Abzan on it. So we're gonna do this Mardu. I think the plan is trade stuff off. Yeah, Horde Ambusher is really aggressive as well, and I don't like it, but playing it morphed, it's basically the same. It probably never gets unmorphed on it. This is not great. It's also kind of aggressive. But anyways, our plan is to trade stuff off, be aggressive, and get some like flying to stick and protect it. And then after we've cleared the board, maybe go a little bit wider, or put down a Siege Rhino to finish off the game. Return Siege Rhino after it gets killed. Even the Falcon, once it gets flying, can be a problem. So I think this is what we'll go with. I don't love it. I don't feel super great about it. We didn't look at the Teamer build, but I don't want to play Teamer. It has stuff, but I don't like it. We didn't look at the Jeskai build, but I don't think we have enough instants for the Jeskai build, because like Treasure Cruise is a sorcery, Time Scheming is a sorcery. We do have some like combat things, but we don't have enough prowess creatures for Jeskai to work either on it, and so like even this is good, but doesn't have prowess. And so anyways, okay, so I think we're gonna accept it here. Let me know in the comments, what you guys think about it. If you think we could have built something different, maybe if you think the Siege Rhino isn't worth the splash, let me know. I think it is, and how you would have built it differently, or what you might do, because as always, I'm interested in kind of learning together with you guys. And watch the next videos, and we'll see some of the games, and we'll see if I can remember a little bit more of the format of cons. All right, thanks everyone, see ya.